Hello, this is BASAVARAJ. We are going to discuss second PUC economics concept. Chapter 3, Fraction and Costs. You are welcome for economics students. This is under Tech, Teach Tech. Under production and costs. Now the concept to discuss is production and production function. First, meaning of production. Production is the process by which inputs are transformed into output. Inputs are transformed into output. It means how the production can take place by transforming the inputs are not produced or raw goods into output or ready goods. It is called production. Production ಅಂದರೆ ಉತ್ಪಾದನೆ ಅಂತೀವಿ. ಉತ್ಪಾದನೆ ಅಂತಂದರೆ ಯಾವುದಾದ್ರೂ ಕಚ್ಚಾ ಸರಕುಗಳನ್ನು ಸಿದ್ಧ ವಸ್ತುಗಳನ್ನಾಗಿ ಬದಲಾವಣೆ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ, ಉತ್ಪಾದನೆ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. Come to understand, production is carried out by the producers or firms by using inputs like land, labor, capital, organization. Land, labor, capital, organization. There may be as labor, capital, machines, raw materials and others to produce the output. ಅಂದರೆ ಅರ್ಥ ಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಷನ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದರೆ ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸರ್ಸು ಅಥವಾ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಇವರು ಇನ್ಪುಟ್ಸು ಯಾವ್ಯಾವ ಇನ್ಪುಟ್ ಸಿಗುತ್ತೆ ಅದನ್ನು ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಂಡು ಆ ಮೂಲಕ ವಸ್ತುಗಳನ್ನು ಉತ್ಪಾದನೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಅದನ್ನೇ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ ಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಷನ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ದಿಸ್ ಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಷನ್ ಕೆನ್ ಬಿ ಟೇಕ್ಸ್ ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ ಓನ್ಲಿ ಬೈ ಯೂಸಿಂಗ್ ಇನ್ಪುಟ್ಸ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸಿಂಗ್ ಔಟ್ಪುಟ್. ದಿಸ್ output can be consumed by consumers or used by other firms for the further production. It means what the producers or firms can make the inputs, what the inputs are available, that is land, labor, capital, machines, raw materials. This can be used to produce the output called production of output. This output can be consumed by consumers or used by others firms for further production. It means what output has been produced by the producers or firms that has been consumed by the consumers. But same output can be or goods which has been produced by the producers can also used by other firms for the further production. It is also called as production. It means production can be taken place by the firms to produce ready goods which can be consumed by consumers or maybe other firms in the production of other goods can be. But when we use the production, you must be come to know this transforming process. In the next slide, how this can be takes place. Now we can go with a demo. There is an input combination which has been blown up by a person and also a balloon which have been expanded as he blows more and more air. That what effort has been made, a firm, that effort of the firm with the input combination, it can possible to produce more and more goods. It means there are two things are most important. One is firm's effort. Firm's effort is there. Another one is input combination. There must be a firm. There must be a firm. Firm is nothing but here human being. A man, a person is blowing out air which can be makes his efforts more and more, means he can able to expand the balloon more and more bigger. This is what one can understand. A firm can make the more and more efforts, means with the input combination of the more and more, that can be make the more expansion can be, that more expansion it can possibly be produced as the balloon. It means firm have more effort to produce means it can have more output can be. This is what efforts can be made by the firm can produce the goods more and more. Only for this we can understand in another way. See how production of goods and services takes place by the firm. See, inputs, transformation process and output. The process of inputs which are be not readily usable. There may be raw materials, labor, machines and also others. Here such things, maybe raw materials can be possible to get transformation means changes, as it may be manual or may be machine or may be other things. But in the way of the manual means the person is to be handle the production process, and also machine means he can be used, the machine also can be. At last it can possible to be have the output. You can have the output. That's called as finished goods. Input, transformation and also output. In this way, what the inputs are used by the firm by transforming of manual or maybe the mechanical operations in the factory, they can possible to be get produce the finished goods. This is what how production of goods and services take place. ಅಂದರೆ ಒಂದು ವಸ್ತುವನ್ನು ಉತ್ಪಾದನೆ ಮಾಡೋದು ಹೇಗೆ ನಡೆಯುತ್ತೆ ಅದನ್ನು ಇನ್ಪುಟ್, ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಫಾರ್ಮೇಷನ್ ಪ್ರಾಸೆಸ್ ಮತ್ತು ಔಟ್ಪುಟ್ ಅಂತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಪಿಕ್ಚರಲ್ಲಿ ನೀವು ನೋಡಬಹುದು. But this can possible to be get understand by pictures. See, there is a tailor. You can have the input of cloth which has not been ready to use. Production process is there, is to be get cut it and also sieving with a machine to be make it ready. That can output is shorts can be. This is what is input of cloth can be as make production process or transforming into output of shirts. This is a process. Not only for this, see other examples also can. But how the raw good can be changed with the sieving and also ready goods. In the same way, there is some of the inputs are there which has been domestic helper who is going to be out cleaning with the domestic things. That's called as cleaning can be. That output is going to be out before the cleaning is dirty, and after the cleaning it is cleaned. This is what is how the inputs can be make the process to be transform the unclean things into clean things. This is what is production process. ಅಂದರೆ ನಾವು ಹೇಗೆ ಇನ್ಪುಟ್ಟು ಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಷನ್ ಪ್ರಾಸೆಸ್ಸು ಮತ್ತು ಔಟ್ಪುಟ್ ಮೂಲಕ ಉತ್ಪಾದನೆ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು ಅನ್ನೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ನೋಡ್ಬೋದು ರಿಯಲ್ ಪಿಕ್ಚರಲ್ಲಿ. ಬಟ್ ಟೇಕ್ ಎನ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಕಾರ್ ಮ್ಯಾನುಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಚರರ್ uses land for a factory or machinery, labor, various other inputs like steel, aluminum, rubber, etc. to produce the cars. ಅಂದರೆ ಒಂದು ಕಾರನ್ನು ಉತ್ಪಾದನೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಕ್ಕಂತಹ ಯಾವುದೇ ಒಂದು ಕಂಪನಿ ಅದು ಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಟ್ರಿಯಾಗಿ ಲ್ಯಾಂಡನ್ನು, ಮೆಷಿನ್ಸನ್ನು, ಲೇಬರನ್ನು ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಮತ್ತು ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ವಸ್ತುಗಳು ಬೇಕಾಗ್ತವೆ, ಅವರು ಮ್ಯಾನುಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಚರ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಕಾರನ್ನು. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಇದೆ ಆಟೋ ರಿಕ್ಷಾ ಪುಲ್ಲರ್. ರಿಕ್ಷಾ ಪುಲ್ಲರ್ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಬಿ ಯೂಸಸ್ ದ ರಿಕ್ಷಾ ಆ್ಯಸ್ ಮೆನಿ ಟರ್ನ್ಸ್ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಬಿ ಟು ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ದ ರಿಕ್ಷಾ ರೈಡ್ಸ್ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಬಿ. ಅಂದರೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಹೆಚ್ಚು ಆಟೋ ಓಡಿಸ್ತಾನೋ ಅಷ್ಟು ಇನ್ಕಮ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ಅರ್ಥ. ಟೇಕ್ ಎನ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಫಾರ್ಮರ್ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಬಿ ಯೂಸಸ್. Farmer can be uses the land, labor, tractor and also many others to produce the wheat as output can. Not only for this, many other examples we can be take to produce the goods and services in our society also can. That's what is not only rickshaw or maybe the farmer or maybe the tailor and also many others. Whoever likes to be get the production of any good, he has to be get work with the raw materials and also other things. This is what is how production can be takes place in our society. This is the example. Next we shall move on to the cost of production. The cost of production is the payment made by a firm to acquire inputs for the production of goods. That is cost of production. It is the payment. Payment means what money we can pay it by a firm to acquire inputs or to purchase the inputs in the production process to be used. This is called as ಕಾಸ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಷನ್. ಅಂದರೆ ಒಂದು ವಸ್ತುವನ್ನು ಉತ್ಪಾದನೆ ಮಾಡುವ ಪ್ರಕ್ರಿಯೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಇನ್ಪುಟ್ಸ್ ಬೇಕಾಗ್ತವೆ, ಅವನ್ನ ನಾವು ವಶ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕು ಅಥವಾ ತಗೊಳ್ಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ ದುಡ್ಡು ಖರ್ಚು ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಆ ದುಡ್ಡನ್ನೇ ಕಾಸ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಷನ್ ಅಂತೀವಿ. ಒನ್ಸ್ ಔಟ್ಪುಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಬೀನ್ ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ಡ್ ದ ಫರ್ಮ್ ಸೇಲ್ಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಮಾರ್ಕೆಟ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಆಸ್ ದ ರೆವಿನ್ಯೂ. ಅಂದರೆ ಒಂದು ಸರಿ ಔಟ್ಪುಟ್ಟು ಬಂದ ಮೇಲೆ ಅದನ್ನ ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿ ನಾವು ಸೇಲ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಸೇಲ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ನಮಗೆ ಬರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದು ಮಾರ್ಕೆಟಲ್ಲಿ ರೆವಿನ್ಯೂ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ದಟ್ ಡಿಫ್ರೆನ್ಸ್ ಬಿಟ್ವೀನ್ ದ ರೆವಿನ್ಯೂ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಕಾಸ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಎನಿ ಕಮಾಡಿಟಿ ಈಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಎಸ್ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಪ್ರಾಫಿಟ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಇಟ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ವಾಟ್ ಡಿಫ್ರೆನ್ಸ್ ಈಸ್ ದೇರ್ ಬಿಟ್ವೀನ್ ದ ರೆವಿನ್ಯೂ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಕಾಸ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಷನ್, ದ ಡಿಫ್ರೆನ್ಸ್ ಈಸ್ ನಥಿಂಗ್ ಬಟ್ ವಿ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಎಸ್ ಪ್ರಾಫಿಟ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಬಟ್ ಸಪೋಸ್ ವಿ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಅಸ್ಯೂಮ್ ದಟ್ the objective of the firm is to get at the maximum profit that it can. ಅಂದರೆ ಅರ್ಥ ಯಾವುದೇ ಫರ್ಮಿಗೆ ಆ ಮೂಲ ಉದ್ದೇಶನೇ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಲಾಭ ತಗೊಳ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಅರ್ಥ. ಬಟ್ ವಿ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಗೋ the same can understand by the way of the revenue. This is revenue and cost, and this is profit. Revenue, cost and profit. This is what the revenue is there and also cost is there. That's what the revenue we are getting minus cost we are spending is nothing but to be called as ಪ್ರಾಫಿಟ್ ಕೆನ್. ಅಂದರೆ ರೆವಿನ್ಯೂ ಎಷ್ಟು ಬರ್ತದೆ ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಕಾಸ್ಟನ್ನು ತೆಗೆದ್ರೆ ಉಳಿಯೋದೇ ಪ್ರಾಫಿಟ್ ಅಂತ ನಾವು ಕಾಸ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಷನನ್ನು ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲೇನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು. The same way, production function, how it can be takes place. Production function is of a firm is the relation between the inputs used and output produced by the firm, or production function is the relation between the inputs and output of the production process. ಅಂದರೆ ಅರ್ಥ ಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಷನ್ ಫಂಕ್ಷನ್ ಅಂತಂದರೆ ಯಾವುದೇ ಒಂದು ಉದ್ದಿಮೆ ಇನ್ಪುಟ್ಗೂ ಮತ್ತು ಔಟ್ಪುಟ್ಗೂ ಯಾವ ರಿಲೇಷನ್ ಇದೆ ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನು ಹೇಳುತ್ತೆ. ದಟ್ಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಎಸ್ ರಿಲೇಷನ್ ಬಿಟ್ವೀನ್ inputs and output in the production process. That's called as production function anta kariತೀವಿ. It has the formula of production function is Q equals F into LRKOAD. ಅಂದರೆ Q is the quantity of output, R is the land, K is the capital, labor and organization. Even AD is there, AD is the advertisement. Many other things can be used to get produced the commodity, but for simplicity we assumed only two inputs here, that is the land and labor. We shall come to know what the way the production function can be takes place. Production functions can takes place. That's what is here. There's a input is there. Input is a tractor which is and laborers working in the field, and also people are transforming the input into output as they are going to be as make cleaning up the wheat. At the same time there is a bag is there which has been filled with the wheat. This is what is inputs of the land and also seeds can be transformed into growth of the farm, and also they can possibly get ready goods is there, that is nothing but because as input of seeds transformed into output. This is what is wheat production can possibly be takes place by the inputs used to make the output. In the next slide we can the production function is simply we can be say Q equals L into K. Q equals L into K can. This is what is Q equals L into K. Here Q equals L into K. Q is the amount of wheat, K is the area of land, and L is the number of hours of work done in a day. The farmer suppose 2 hours per day is working in with 2 hectares of the land. 2 hours per day, 1 hectare of the land can make the maximum of 2 tons. Then the new production function is Q equals L into K can be. We have taken the wheat production and hectares of land as input, and also workers of the laborers per hours also can be taken. But this we can understand that there is a input to be get used when the inputs are 0. There is no production in the process. But when the inputs are positive to use, production will be positive. This shows that when there is a increasing of the input, there is a increasing of output also can be. ಇದನ್ನು ನಾವು ಈಸಿಯಾಗಿ ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು, ಇನ್ಪುಟ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಹಾಕಿದರೆ ಔಟ್ಪುಟ್ಟು ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ. Thank you for listening the class. The next video we can understand isoquant and TP, MP and AP and returns to scale.